Alright guys, I just saw episode 28 of Love Island Season 7. By the way, my dog is behind me, so if he pops up, don't get scared. So this episode is obviously after the fallout of episode 27, where the villa finds out what America thinks about them, and 5 islanders left, which were Austin, Jaden, Adrina, TJ, and Grayson. Whew, Lord. You see, I told you last episode how boring she was. I done forgot about her. Sorry, Grayson. But anyway, so we start with the episode. Iris is talking to Shelly, Huda, and Olandria, and she's saying, I finally started to feel what you guys felt. I had that with TJ, and now that he's leaving, I don't want to do this. I don't want to restart again. I don't want to redo all this all over again. And the girls are like, it's fine, you'll get through it, and we'll be here for you every step of the way. I know it really sucks for that to happen. You feel like you have this connection with someone and it just gets ripped out from under you. But in life too, sometimes what we think is bad, like something happening to us that we think is negative or bad, is actually something good and setting us up for something even better. We're going to get to that a little later. But anyway, then we go into Clark and Taylor talking about, Taylor being in the bottom of the least whatever in most of the categories. And then him being one of the ones up for elimination or whatever to be sent home. And he's like, I'm just glad, they didn't put you. And he even thanks America. Like, America, thank you for not sending Clark home. And, they kiss. He just really likes her. He really likes her. And you know what? I'm happy for Clark. I'm happy that he's finally. I guess that's just what he needed. He needed someone that he really, really liked. It's unfortunate that he didn't really like Olandria like that, and he kind of strung her along. But now he's standing on business, and it's with Clark. Then we go to Chris, Elin, and Zach with a K. I don't know why I'm saying that because the other Zach is not there anymore. But anyway, they're talking, and they're talking about Iris, and Chris is like, I just find it a little weird that because if it's someone I was really into, I would have left with them. Because if you didn't know, guys, because I was side-eyeing her too yesterday, but if you didn't know, you can actually leave if whoever you're coupled up with, if they get booted out, you can allegedly leave. I can't confirm or deny this, but people have said that this has happened in other seasons. And the fact that Chris, Elin, and Zach were talking about it leads me to believe that, yes, it's true. You can leave with the person you're coupled up with if they leave. So I was side-eyeing her just a little last night because I'm like, you're doing all this crying, you're getting all emotional, rightfully so, but you're not offering, like, you're not even saying, let me leave with you, TJ, or, mentioning it to him, or you're just kind of like, bye, bye. So you get the side out from me, but hey, it's a game, and I guess people just want to have the chance to win, right? All right. So then Pepe and Iris have breakfast. Pepe has a type. But anyway, more about that a little later. So they're talking, and she's telling him, I know now I know how you felt with Hannah, and whatever. They had that little connection, but they're gonna have a bigger connection a little later. So then Huda and Chris are talking, and he's like, she's asking him how he's feeling, and he's like, I'm feeling a little down, and she's like, why? What happened? And he's like, I had a bad dream about basketball, and he starts talking about feeling like he has to give it up because it takes a lot out of his life. Like he has to be devoted to playing basketball overseas from 6 to 9 months, and he's not able to do anything else. And there's so many other things he wants to do in his life, and he just feel like he has to give it up in order to do the other things. And Huda's like, no, I don't think you have to give it up. I think you can do multiple things at once and just focus on each thing. So that was a nice little bonding moment for them because he felt like he wanted to cry. She's like, cry if you need to. You can cry, They hug or whatever. He says in the confessional that he really feeling Huda. He feels like he calmed her down and she can be herself around him. So this is a nice little matchup. I'm liking Huda Chris or Huda. Oh, Huda Chris. It sounds like Ludacris. That's funny. I just thought about that. I don't know if that's a hashtag already on social media. It probably is. So then Amaya is talking with Zach, I believe, and she's saying how she felt like America was gonna see her as a crybaby ass bitch. And it's so funny because it's the complete opposite. America is loving Amaya. You know, she's got the Amaya papaya trending. All these companies and brands are hitting her up. You know, they're tagging her and pulling for chats and naming drinks after her. You know, just in a funny way, not officially. But it is very clear that when Amaya leaves this competition, this island, this villa, she is going to have some endorsements on deck. Amaya is going to have probably one of the highest out of everybody in Love Island this season. She's going to be the one to really be, if she does this correctly, she's really going to have a lot of endorsements, a lot of projects, a lot of you get what I'm trying to say, because America loves her and it's going to be so funny, especially with her words and how she says them. So I'm really excited to see where Amaya goes, and I really wish, like, Love Island, if you're possibly watching this, or I don't know, but you should start getting the Islanders' reactions as they leave. So from this point on, anytime someone leaves, maybe get them in a confessional and show them what America has been saying about them, show them how they've been trending, whatever, just to get their reaction. Because I really want to see Amaya's first reaction to everything that's happening. I don't want to hear her talk about it in an interview like, oh, I was shocked or whatever. No, I want to see her genuine first reaction. So Love Island, get on that. That video will go viral, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, whatever version way you want to do it, or even as bonus episodes, you know, after the show ends, or for sundown. You know what I mean? This is that what it's called? Sundown, the Wednesday and Saturday show where anyway, please, because we want to see Amaya's reaction. So then, moment of truth, Elin gets a text, and it's about the challenge for today, which is called Crashing Out. So essentially, what this challenge is, each boy has to pick a wing woman, one of the Islanders, and then they go to a set of doors, right? And they got to run towards the door. They have all this gear on, you know, helmet, pads, and all that good stuff. So they run towards the door, and what happens is one of them is going to bang into a door and one is going to break away into a ball pit. After the ball pit, they have to jump from lily to lily with like liquid slime in there. And as they're jumping from lily to lily, the Islanders are squirting water at them and throwing slime balloons at them. So then after all that, they got to put their face into the round of truth and then mention a time where they crashed out previously. And so then the pie hits them in the face, and then they have to pick an Islander that they want to jump into a ball pit and make out with. Of course, you can't have a challenge on Love Island without swapping spit and saliva. Jesus, it is so gross to me, but whatever. So some of the memorable ones were Zach picking Amaya as his partner to jump to run through the doors. He gets thrown in the ball pit, and even though she bangs into the wall, she ends up jumping in with him. They actually make out. It was a nice little moment because, you know, they've been a little shaky lately. And then after he goes to the end when he has to pick an Islander, he picks Olandria, and she's like smart because he ain't gonna get no kiss outside of a challenge. And then they kiss, and she said it was good. And then during Pepe's chance of picking someone, he picked Iris, of course. As I said, he has a type. They kiss, you know, and he says she's a badass woman. She has everything that a man could need. Oh my God, Pepe. Pepe's mad cool, but Pepe is hilarious. Brian picks Amaya to kiss. They make out. She was feeling the kiss. She said that he was the best kisser out of all the guys that she's kissed so far. She's interested, and he's clearly interested in Amaya as well. And I like that. I want them to explore a little bit. I think that would be maybe a cute connection. I don't know. We'll see. And we are going to see because it happens in this episode. So the challenge ends. They're all slimed up and sloppy, and they still, you know, talk and stuff. They don't let them take a shower. The producers are like, no, we want you to go straight into talking. Y'all take showers later. So Amaya and Iris are talking, and Amaya basically asks Iris, would you be open to maybe exploring Pepe? And she's like, of course, he's hot, why not? But I do miss TJ. Then Amaya apologizes to Zach, for saying shut the fuck up when she did it yesterday. And he's like, no, it's cool, I get it. And she's like, no, but I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't really curse like that at people, whatever. So she wants to apologize. He says it's fine. He wants her to continue to be Amaya Papaya and have fun and be herself, and he respects her. And so they basically close out their couple, but she's like, we're gonna be friends. She said it was good to be mature civilians and act accordingly. Oh man, I love Amaya Papaya, her words. But so that was funny, and that was cool that they were able to, close out, but still be friends and be mature civilians, as Amaya would say. So then Shelly pulls Chris for a chat. She's like, I want to talk, because it's been such a roller coaster ride ever since Casa Amor. And he's like, he essentially said, it seemed like you just were focusing in on Ace. So I took that as you, were kind of letting me go. So I said, well, let me start focusing on Huda because I liked that connection, liked it did. But anyway, like that connection. And she's like, it's crazy. Perspective is so crazy because I wasn't over, the feelings or whatever at that time. But it is what it is. And they basically closed out on a friendly tip, but it looked like she still wanted to explore. I don't know. Shelly, you might get a side eye from me. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you want to explore people, even if you have something. You still, I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't feel 1000% with Ace, which is strange. But and maybe I'm reading her face wrong, but it really looked like she felt a certain way, and she might have wanted to continue to pursue that. But I guess she felt like, look, I gotta lock down with Ace because if I don't lock down with somebody, I'm gonna be asked out. So then Iris and Pepe are talking again, and I think she said it in the confessional, like, how could I not see this? Like, how could I not think of Pepe as an option? It kind of just went over my head, but now she sees something, she's willing to see where it goes. He's obviously looking like he's deeply in love with her or whatever. Pepe has a white type. I said it. He liked the white girls with the blonde hair, that it is what it is. That's his type. And that's really why he didn't care to talk to Adrina. It wasn't that he was already whatever, whatever. No, boy. Because you weren't even into Grayson. You just said that because you want a white type. I mean, it is what it is. I don't want to make it about race, but I know y'all saying it on social media, so it is what it is. So then Brian and Amaya finally have the chat, as I would like to say, and he is laying it on thick with her. He's like, what people are seeing as cons, I'm seeing as pro. I don't want you to change. Don't let what they say change you because someone in here like me likes those things that people might not like. And he's like, I want you to be who you are and go at whatever pace you are. Like if you want to go fast, we go fast. I'm good. I'm at that pace too. He was saying that in the confession of that part. But I'm just like, he is laying it on. He is getting a side eye from me. I'm like, are you really into Amaya Papaya? Or are you just trying to find someone to connect with because you want to win? Because essentially he had nobody at this point. So I'm giving him a side eye. It seemed like he was really laying it on thick. What you call it, love bombing? Because I don't even 100% know what that is, but I think that's love bombing. So yeah, I'm not buying it. I know a lot of y'all gonna buy it because a lot of y'all bought the whole Nicolandria thing. Uh, there's a lot of things y'all bought that were set up and fake, in my opinion. Um, and I feel like this. I'm not saying 100% is fake, but I'm side-eyeing Brian. But I know everybody is probably buying it. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you're buying it or if you're side-eyeing him as well. But yeah, so he's getting the side-eye. They kiss and whatever. Brian, to me, is the type, either A, he's love bombing or whatever, or he's a fast lover. Like, he will go for the looks first, like physical appearance, and be like, oh my God, I like her so much, I want to get to know her. And then get to know her, and he's just like, oh my God, yes, I love all that, yes. When really he might not love everything, but he's just so enamored with how they look physically that he just, whatever. But then when it gets to it, he realizes, like with Adriana, he was like, oh, she bad and da da da, and then she's like, yeah, I like this and this. Oh my god, yes, I like it. And you know, they were a little coupling, but then he realized, yeah, no, you're boring. So I think he does that fast thing, which some people do in life. I've done it. I might still do it. But I'm just saying, he needs to really get to know their personality, as Amaya would say. I love you, Amaya. But yeah. So this is gonna be interesting to see. But just as they kissing and making out and he's grabbing ass, we get the preview for Sunday's episode, and there is another recoupling. I swear to God, Love Island does not want to see y'all happy. Whenever there are some couples who are fixing and mending, or couples who are already together, or new couples forming that bond, the way Iris and Pepe, Brian and Amaya, Huda and Chris are now closer. You know, like all these, everything's pretty much smooth sailing. And here y'all want to come recoupling and fucking shit up. I cannot. I don't want to say I cannot understand it because I get it. It's a game show. But shit, can we leave these couples alone? But anyway, I'm gonna tune in on Sunday, and I'm sure you are too. But let me know what you thought about this episode in the comment below so we can keep this conversation going. And I'll see you in the next video or in the comment section. Peace.